episode for Ahaye GC News. Mema Ubibia Akwaba. Had the latest hot and Aramede Bramo. I don't say we subscribe to channel idea. Bomodian say over subscribe. The way I say over click a year the subscribe button. Na wabele notification. We understand new video be upload when the first person was Ebeka a yes video. I feel we are now like video and give us a thumbs up, Nefi. Shema wa foforo so na wenye bi hwe na wo hu ensemo ekoso e wo Ghana memo afi yembura ye ensemo abeto yepno so yeti yes a report ya ba betu ja sankomo yimume.
So far so good. Alaska na meka say amamuo no a yebu no ye ntrongu ebo bi so wanwuram na ya sora na dwo akọhwehwe akọkan na ye ba implement to ba na ho aye huhu ndi which means that wontimi nko wuram ho nkokan sa abo no de a amamuo no de onhu nibu amamuo is about common sense. I identify yourself with the concerns of the people. Whenever you put me what the ho hye nipa na odi omo so no dodo na average way no omo welfare with me gauge na wo do ho hyem say I can say wo do onan hye obi shuma da na wutime hu say de omo si hu wiase a na say de nema esitie ma omo a Alaska you understand the need say amamuo no is about doing what the people want. It is not about somebody sitting on high horses thinking say or emperor and or some pharaoh reincarnated when you to me so hallelujah chorus is not that surround apart you sit to praise them. No, we are sadwin now ayetete near the 12th century 11th century
ayetete adwen
modern governance. No, I go to a stand of Alaska me say it's a public enterprise. You drive with the people. I know the day the nipa no come no and you local contest how things are prevailing no and a certain focus.
Okay.
Because as a memo is all that what that's around apart the prevailing circumstances are capture the welfare and the attention of the majority of the people. No, as a government that is what you focus and address. For instance, yeah, that's around there. You say a DBA by a friend red boys no ma or no more that. It's a social crisis. As government, you veil your mind on the spot.
That's right.
You solve it. You wake up a day, you say dollar, cost rising. Cost a lot of economic stir within the space. Man, nema boy cost as a government, you gauge there. Today, madam, sorry, and now this month we are me, and now this year we are me. My focus is targeting the dollar because no impact affecting virtually every economic activity. It's all that governance is about. Right. For instance, education low. Your friends say and never be a real aircon. The last time I catch yourself football, creating its own economy. You call Europe a rake in a lot of dividend. Countries like Spain and other places are for making a lot of money from this football economy. Africa will be lacking behind. And what is emerging is the digital economy.
That's right.
So you wake up a day as president, you ask yourself, say, how do I train and reposition young people today to take advantage and to be part and parcel of this digital economy that is emerging? When with me yes na a governance, that is what you do, you drive. And my culture say nipa dasani ye nipa boni ni sani nyankopon boy we were bombarded. Enti o your mind na wan fan hyehyɛ ne framework and to regulate human behavior. Alaska obeda sori na di nipa ye no it's mind boggling. So framework and institutions must always be at play just to ensure say nipa bedi meraso because man on his own will never adhere to laws.
That's right.
Man will always want to have a free ride. So until say nipa beda sorry who say ade we me kofa akora ketwa na da meko jail because your fraud be defamation. Senya sade na wo ha obetena panyina kokora na ofa akora na ne da because there are no consequences.
Well.
So you need to create those frameworks. So for me I think say John Mahama coming, you know. Now these were the concerns on the table. People were raising a lot of things about Akufo Addo Niama na Afaso Aye. So as government, you know, want to make my back Niama na Akufo Addo, you know. You can't do that. You do that, you will not survive. So you need to listen to the many concerns. Now, man, for can now crap pen paper no gin and change. Yes, Akufo Addo ayeda na watch out to baby. Yes, oh yeah, there no more county, we no county. As a smart person, that is what you do. So when you get the power, you undo these things and make it better. For instance, Alaska, Abra yenya economic downturn. Kroma say. We were expecting the Akufo Addo government to take bold, decisive decisions by cutting down the size of government. Because
that's right.
Now you the balloon size. The first time we had the biggest size of government, it ended up to be the most useless government ever in the history of this country.
Oh, really?
A debt, yes, for us. And we are John Mahama now president. You promised the people some bar. Making sure say slash down the size of government. Say ya sikana ya the finance buruburu ya na faso bia ni so no eso bete. Alaska obaye he has done that one, and I think that a feed into the many way na manfo e kan ho asem. And you see, cutting down the size of government, you know, very often people look at the economic benefit. My culture said not just economic, but it was some symbolic gesture. A portrait to Ghanaians said this time around, you know, we have a guy sitting at the Jubilee House. He listens to the concerns of the people. He will address the concerns and for me that is positive. And with this code of way I'm launching at the Chia Alaska Airway, for me, people are not even aware said that particular code of conduct, you know, is sitting in the constitution.
That's right.
It's an uncharted territory. We've never stepped into that minefield just to check, say at least. Yeah, so over the years, you know, there has been this overriding. Your friends said free way for a man for corruption here and there. People steal, arrogance and impunity. I bet the order of the day. Because majority of the people we rise in politics. I have say, you know, don't go there because of merit. And not say because of whatever. He's there because he's a friend to this. Because Madame Funi will become a constituency we need a Kwaku do. Enti okotena hona on kasa within no Alaska. That intellectual confidence is not there.
That's
so
right.
If you lack intellectual confidence, you need to replace it with arrogance. So arrogance na man for ya na man for ntiase o. Aya internal compensatory mechanism. When you lack something, you have to compensate it. You become very aggressive and very hostile. Talk to people foolishly.
So that people don't get close to
exactly.
you to expose your weakness.
To expose your weakness. So whenever you see people are always aggressive, very volatile, very arrogant, within them there is a hole. There is something deeper. They just don't want people to get close. They become hostile, and that is the only way they compensate for. But Alaska, say win him the whole year. Now you're on top of your game. You don't need to be hostile to people. For instance, if somebody walks to your office, say, "Oh, baby, South Alaska, if you have a problem near, when are we DC for this constituency, Mr. Ubetimi?" Yeah, Alaska. All that you have to do is to accord the person the maximum respect. Listen to the person, whether you do or you don't do. That person, you know, I know the day will not be worried. You understand? But if you speak foolishly to that person because you're DC, office, you should know, say, Nipa no office, you know, or Maho because we are Alaska, or Maho because we are DC. The person is coming because of the office, not you. Because a day will come, you will not be sitting at the office.
But
people will still be coming.
The office will be there.
Exactly. So if you're a very smart, broad-minded individual and you go into governance with this kind of mindset, Alaska, you survive and get out, and nothing will happen. So for me, this code of conduct it shouldn't just be a good paper so keke.
That's right.
Because it's obvious that most of the appointees are really going to be very arrogant because you know, say that is a must. So government must do everything. Now, shall say that. So
yes,
you know that because some of these things are natural, they come up. People feel they know they think that boss and that's your guy that kind of way.
Boss.
Yes, because maybe I know and they need to strike balance just to know so when you're in a level.
That's
right.
Right.
A weak mindset.
I know my level. Level don't change.
Alaska, you see, if you know your game, you know how to play some of these things. So I think that the president is good. So why yes I near my way. Now mom on cosuna on check it. No making sure say I nipa bi oba from sa near my way no. Yeah, the best example I'm Ghana for who say governance and I run no for the people. everything is for the people, not for ourselves. So the akwenya mawa is your time, come and serve and go, because we are done, you go home. Akufo Addo be 8 years or whatever, and do you be a said what you done, I don't quite DC and I quite MP and I quite minister, staff or whatever. You should know, say, time down, so a day you exit power, you don't be there forever, you understand? The best you can do is to serve humanity, and when the time comes, you go. So Alaska, in the last 120 days, John Mahama and Ghana for sign social contract. And for me, I think say the blue tick na does home.
The blue tick.
Oh yes, and I've seen a lot of critics. Professor Atta and for who over the years have been very hostile to John Mahama as a person and to the NDC. Even these people are rating him A, B plus. And we will be a sound-minded individual. We are very objective and very dispassionate. Now we had the Akoswa. You won't have much to say in terms of negativity because the gentleman has proven that indeed he was president before. He was voted out. He's learned his lessons. He's back to remake things and make things better. And for me, some of the things that he has done has been very phenomenal. For instance, Alaska, apart from the size of government here, look at the economic space right now.
That's right.
And Sanka ekwaye ebinum pension anka dollar eswatimi ate 3 cedis aba for me Alaska nka lectures ya ye no krom ha no nka nyade ketwa. But in all these instances president that's right. Because you see, as a president, this is part of the things that you're supposed to do. You understand that? Yes, but John Mahama minyanti so never be celebrated said dollar so
no
and your news within the space. Nobody's even talking about it.
That's
right.
But
Alaska is a huge way. Say yet me drive on a man for more can near my bansu who say dollar na swati. So there is the need for you to also bring down your things and then as a form. I think that Ghana me ebe feel that particular impact na me who say sebi. Niama na esesano ekwoye ma Ghana for afa enuma sem this entrepreneur ideas you see early days yet to put a premium or price on this because implementation afa ya certain emotion how it's going to be. But for me I think say your mind now what statistic say you want to boost the entrepreneur skills of young people. Alaska, that country will grow because over the years some mistake na ya obi obe free school ababia pay buy adwuma ye.
Oh,
do you know say Kroma say averagely abaya adwuma the average pay 3,500
average pay.
Yes. Alaska what Accra na if you ni yan onware nwoye now ye woje akatua 3,500 can you even survive? How much more be aware na oje 3,500 wo ma obakwana na yere so ni adwuma
3,500
depression na de beko wodi wan gada petesi ni na se for beka ho
what did they
apetesi. So Alaska is way so we need to train people say you cannot always be job seekers.
Exactly.
Be a job creator and have the capacity to employ others. Entrepreneurial skills and as for no adults training. There are a lot of stuff that you can do, especially with this advance of social media. Man, for the year we know you can also use it to promote business. Some of the ladies obi holding cake, obi holding mantadia pam, obi holding way. How do we empower these people to become job creators? Sabi almost bet me training other people. Sabi ya the focus will not be me pa banya juma me person me ko police, uko police na katua say. Police na man for tia bribe na me ko police o me ko police o akatua say. Me ko soja uwia ye si SS dormitory na mpasisi wa tata so sabro san no soja ni awa babonte bi na kwakoda enti me pesoja kutu bribe na
Inspector Koti.
Alaska, we need to train people say na wiase na ye wom no young people can create their own job and become owners of enterprises, you understand?
Well.
So government is ready to boost and ensure say finances will be available over the years. Mistake I say some of these things, we don't look at people with the qualities, so we look at constituency executive. Sana Emma Masrog a useless enterprise.
Oh,
Masrog mfaso obi andi so eye Chrono Avenue.
Messi, I'm not cutting so Cecilia Masrog. We call Eastern Regional. Ya tira regional executives mienu pe sika wo maji wo Masrog ka wo mentua no. Ya bo tira wa uyambe.
Yes.
That's right. Uyambe show.
Yes.
Very soon we shall publish their names.
Na say NDC person ma me no so ye na on so kwatana man up to no so my
that's right.
That has always been with the way ya create say a avenue ye de wie sika na ye de support party for the party ni so je sika na dwe ne say oto mount na adema no.
That's right.
But these are enterprises, they are very people with the genuine skills. Or meet me that promote they don't get it. You understand? So this time round, I think that the playbook must change. Na enquire lip service keke. Na you making sure say genuinely me say I don't care whether the person is MPP or NDC.
No.
As long as the person is a Ghanaian.
That's right.
And over the requisite skill set to prevail, let's help people, because at the end of the day, Ninyina will have impact on the growth of the economy. You understand? But over the years, party for no mudim the kwakwaji sikano or no omia juma bia or na no ne kwakwaji.
That's right.
Oji na wedi. Wunya no hwe nyeye. Na maslog bosses no mutu onso krono because omanfo awia no ntu wia osoro.
Free for all.
Exactly. So over the years, and some of these enterprises, and Akufo Addo pencil, why ye those kind of wedding, every now by extension of party offices. Yeah, the dolly sika to party supporters and as for no. I know the day ubeko books no over millions of dollars but there is no single entrepreneur will be able to create a baby. So this time around, Ghana at the end of the 4 years they will come to judge the government. Now you see that the euphoria is high, people are happy, but don't be mistaken. A time will come, Ghanaians will sit down, put pen to paper, and review this government from day one, the entire 4 years. So the over here and no homework now for the Bema. That day will come. We are all sitting here. So I think we need to do things right. Then making sure that this time round, no Ghana for nuni ho so to abama buying na mum or to abama buying some for so baso. There are a lot of stuff happening here who be pen. But that's major focus has to do with this fight against corruption, this kind of stuff. You see, me say John Mahama buying we say $1 echo 1 cedi. There are a significant number of people of Ghanaians that they don't care.
That's right.
What I say, the omo party and this a cromfono mo we sikano.
Yache
omo for mo jail. Na no be catch them say hey, opa ma John Mahama nsi abrosan ma efie bia amfa no. The one say omo mo we sikano. Go to jail. That is a sacred responsibility that is imposed on this government.
That he need not to fail.
No. Because Alaska, over the years, you created a certain culture. Be a Ghana there, a bind there, Obia we are fan hoodie. Obia we are not fan hoodie. And now, Branty, your mochini, here, Sabian, Quasamote, seller, can say, Sikano G and Otchere political party. And now, when you weak people in the media also some of these things. Alaska, me, I do what he's we are no. So the financier Mahama say, on the 12 year Mahama Banta, I don't care. What I know is what we are Sika, and that is what matters. Sikano we are no, Opa Audi am the same Kwame Nkrumah, Opa Wine, Opa NDC supporters in our video, the bottom line is Sikano, you stolen money. And what you are not supposed to use it for, no, that's what you use it for.
So no say who say oh then amudi na twedumti and some all back can
and I catch us Akufo in Nimyansa.
Oh that be oh
because say our lawyer na
the lawyer ni attach
client twiro sabi enkwasa say mo egu paper so na say wo sanhye more dey we ba bontia e kire how weak minded these people are. I've been telling you, these people have been hyping themselves, but their intellectual capacity are very low.
More poverty of intellect.
Poverty of intellect, but when there's severe poverty. Alaska, severe poverty of intellect.
But serious, we are Krofo Munim Yansa.
Alaska, and you see, Mafasika, Name you that has been the old playbook of criminals around the world.
8 million.
Yes, Alaska. No, it's a criminal's philosophy. And the war can be it doesn't my history. When Papa be a normal friend, your friend saying, not Tom Cocaine or Colombia, normal friend, Pablo
Escobar.
There is no single person of Colombia, not or your Papa Chino. Alaska, or more better no. And Krana Mamma for no more born hobbying because the guy will go and sell drug, kill people, make all the money, or buy through Christmas. I know what Cecilia politics, not if you or Chichema here for that. What this has always been the criminal's philosophy. El Chapo in Mexico, and also one of the most intelligent drug baron in the world. Honestly, that was the same thing he was doing. I tell you, cry, see, Kroma. Yes, we are not the Boahman from one area. a criminal's philosophy.
Nazi I'm robbers elders sorry.
Alaska. So they are all canon. You are not reinventing anything. It's an old playbook.
Yachiwa also and as Scano medivito aduane mamudi. Enti enjao.
And for bia he opekrana or the kunyane Kwame Nkrumah say obeba next week crime fire the bottom line is we stealing money and we need to be very ruthless and deal with some of these.
That's right.
And somewhere cost we sanction Ghana for before the more. What I say?
That's right.
So I'm calling on the Attorney General say our responsibility where they are shining say he should not afford to fail the people of this country because their John Mahama Beye behind the entire 4 years, if he doesn't jail people, Ghana would never forgive him. And that is Utia Bontia.
That's right.
The sentiment being expressed by the people, you know very well. If these people don't go to jail for the crimes that they have committed, one, you send a signal, say your own people will come and do the same thing. You understand that? And you'll be begging for clemency in their stead when that time comes. You understand? I think that this time round, in Ghana for Donaniate, games, we need to make sure, say, Obiodin in Sabo, for instance, Cecilia dapaah.
That's right.
But be a sassy Mekata said these people are so damn to the extent that you ask yourself, say, Nipana or no. What we are dollars, Akogunem passing on Obiako we are beer. What you mean now that Agyarko police station?
Make one report na Misika.
Yes.
Ada oye diabolo.
Yes. And a police for no so who can for so a tyranny or Obia Baba can't say we are $1 million or madam. No one parampowered in a cheap. A quack penny for cratching at the cockot. It is Obia Ba who feel police station our catcher say, made the nipati me free Jimmy by Obia Beggy. Because Alaska, we are talking about yes.
Oh yes, they are not serious.
Yes, because $1 million in an individual home. How? When your bank and now your house is not a bank. We have financial regulations. How much of this forex you can keep in as for no more. So to say you have more than $1 million in your account, you should need certain authorization from Bank of Ghana. Actually, why you should keep that particular money there? In the first place, the forest is not our money.
And only I am going to say about the would a month for so move so much to move a defend. They say to the sense Afenyo Nasa Obiamba Kase Nisika.
Alaska, Kromano.
Freddy blame mo.
A man focus yam. I will mention law elsewhere to advance the cause of society. Hano. Sometimes who will be to TV no more. Some lawyer. Without a lawyer and sometimes it's so shameful. You understand? Because sometimes some of the argument people activate on TV, and then me say meantime here TV sao. Oh, because some of these your fans saying silly analysis in say change the as for no. I don't have time for those things. But what you want ubefu the penny power who say nipa we wonim there no can't say be TV so. You know sometimes it doesn't inspire. So for me I think sir this duty is sacred one. Okay. We need to make sure say ahotoswa Ghana for nya omodoko deal as koto abama President Mahama no. So far in the last 120 days, he has demonstrated sufficiently. Say he's indeed on top of the job,
right?
And he's willing. He should not waver. And one has to do with what is going on our Chief Justice side and then the Supreme Court in Alaska. You see, apart from saying jail people who have stolen our money, institutional weaknesses over the years, has been very overwhelming.
That's right.
We cannot afford to move to the next stage of the Ghana that we seek. With the same weak institution.
That's right.
We need to restructure this institution. That is why we are president at this time. You need to be very strong. Extremely strong. We ward all of them off. As long as things you're doing are right, situated in the context of law, say you are not infringing on any constitutional, your friend is saying, rules of Webi you are good to go. You do these things, posterity will judge you.
That's
you understand?
Right.
Because we cannot be shaped by this unwitty criticism by some of these weak-minded individuals out there. Sebi, recently, or more exit power. And Afenyo Markin and Co are bold enough to tell us they are patriotic. These guys are sick.
Serious.
They are sick in the head. Alaska. Quite few days ago, Their course or country has say they were on the other side defending all this nonsense happening in this country.
That's right.
How dare you? They are just mocking Ghanaians, and the MPP have the effrontery to say save the judiciary demo. More bottom. Alaska, we need to be very serious.
Save the judiciary demo.
Save Chief Justice demo. Alaska, we need to be very serious. In the last 8 years, the Akosu Okroma, and these were the people who were spearheading it. We are sanitizing the judiciary today because of the indiscretion and certain foolish decisions these people did by imposing on us, some individuals, Supreme Court appointment in promotion and time. Individuals are call her Akufo Addo Adamfo party or former party we near. Now the judiciary got to that point.
That's right.
People were using the court to muzzle other people out. Yeah, use court to intimidate. Chief Justice Certidate yet the ope o kind of chief na nako he soro asa ko school wiem omu obia okroma say that kind of araba na won hwe na iconic pictures e social media nya ya hwe bia he na no hwe iconic pictures e nam social media he bia na no hwe as if say she's better than obia, that kind of elitist weak mindset looking the na not here. Alaska, we need to get serious. You see, me say we cannot move to the next chapter with this mindset, with these individuals. We need to drop them on the way.
Right.
Obia on your faith, biano. We need to drop them into the water closet. They flush you down the toilet because omuni essence and any relevance to the next chapter of our politics. Ghanaians are focused. CMPP now Afenyo Markin is serious, and they want Ghanaians to take them serious. You see, they need to rephrase the narrative. And for me, MPP is not learning as a political party. Alaska, this is a party who suffered the most humiliating defeat in the history of this country. Alaska, you don't front the party with some of these rascals. Oh yes. No, apart from that, no, they have demonstrated sufficiently said these are rascals. They don't appeal to nobody.
I'm a criminal.
Oh yes, Alaska. For instance, party now you should be begging for clemency. You should be begging for acceptance because there is a wide gap between Ghanaians, reasonable Ghanaians, and the MPP because of what Akufo Addo has done.
The underlying word is reasonable.
Exactly.
Okay.
So now you need people who will be appeasing, speaking to unbalance the whole thing. Sabaya, you engender that kind of acceptance before and son about your politics. But then Yakofa Kwabrane no Montomana Mamfo. It's airtime, Alaska. I think we need to get serious.
Ivan J. Innocence and I
mean, Master say, I will
expose them.
Let them be criminally minded politicians.
At least let them be.
Say, Oma John Mukito
Obia the other than him.
Na meka yakuse one not to feed. Not otis feed, so feed. Feed now, on more or ebubo any no feed. Or say or a shoemaker. To take one or train one row be keke. Your chin your born 10 years. And you didn't have you're finding 800 cities, no yes can.
You are so now Akufo Addo pays among 40.
Oh, then I won't come. It's the law is funny.
Yeah.
Who Chief Justice Ubekade suspended? She won't come back. Torkonoo is gone for good.
They say,
let me ask.
Mama, we back here. Say, a Council of State for your better demonstration.
Oh, almost to be back.
What's it? They better demonstration.
No, you cannot come back. Oh, this is there's no reversal.
Maybe I remember what the men can be.
Oh, Bogabi, there's no reversal
demonstration because me who ne petition me who ne response crowd.
Yes, but those who saw it and read it, this guy Bogabi, those who saw it and read it established a prima facie case against her and went ahead and gave information back to the president. The president then decided to set up a committee. Yeah, according to Article 146.
Because Oshe and Crawford Omwo Council of State. Do I homo? Ne Omwo experience as lawyers, as former Supreme Court judges, as former appeals court judges. Nase Omwo Kwaku Hunu prima facie case
against you.
Yeka prima facie case and nature say bibi ewomua nature say you are liable.
Yeah.
Some for way who say prima facie case be ewomua nature say
Bibi Ewisawa Pokra, Yesisika 129 million. She could not account for it. 39 receipts 39 receipts from the CJ's office. 39 receipts from her office amounting to 129 million. She couldn't account for it. Allegedly.
Yes.
She cannot come back. Listen, there's a military officer in there. The committee was not set up for nothing. You will see what will come out. Then you have Domlevo, who could try and ask them so, and then on so Obetra was so cricket soya. Yes, you hear it. Soya. So the audio no. Or the people do me. I do you. And I will
not vindictively,
not with
but the facts before.
Yes, and he has evidence against you and took crying anyway.
Alistair, we share the composition of the team. It should tell you the variation of the cases.
Yes.
It be a financial.
Yeah.
And that the auditor general. Sir. It be a legal.
Yeah.
And the lawyers.
Yes.
So there's no way. Exactly.
Why would
you understand? Our colleagues, any more some code of ethics, and idea SSM more apply. Media me who know
first one in 32 on one court.
On one court.
32.
On one court.
You
understand? So these are some of the things that is making the
on one so the setting up that
panel.
On one
exactly.
Judges exactly. So you can be a judge in your
own court.
We cannot be
judging our own court. So basically, Ohesina and Niemano esi toa. Utumi who say,
among for so interest Afenyo.
Aha, because listen, NPP going home, they went home with a strategy.
Yes.
And I appreciate their strategy, though bad. Their only hopes were the legal system.
Yeah.
And Nyankopon enioma fofi because yeditum si yediska yabokro no. However, we must get a team of judges who would be sitting on our cases, either to prolong and delay it, either to frustrate it, or to ensure, say, benya technicalities be amomo ISKP. That was their hope. And the agenda of the case, omo mami tokono. Omo mami tokono so the role Ananka Obabe play NSA. When it comes to empaneling of judges, or show case na, or see there be asema udi be there, fako sakot way, asem way, my judge way, enter so enade.
Fresh cases be.
And bafu boni, onu cry there. Or say, they were panel the dano. Let it go.
By the fresh ones.
But before Frobia ebebebiano, I want to see it, and I want to ensure proper paneling of those cases. And Montino, and now Omo Parke High Court, Parke Appeals Court, also Parke Supreme Court. Even at the point of exit, not judges mienu our parliament and now Madam Torkonoo as I actually say 5 Frobi our baby Omo to me body defense
Intina Torkonoo EP 5
Abekane
president and Anna do you 2 dada.
Exactly.
7. And your mama so 7.
Exactly. Intino created that space for that 7. His Excellency John Dramani Mahama Bino. Some space of 7 no edaho. Because 2 no parliament and listen, truth so say judges are ye bo omudini na a distinguished people that both the judiciary and then the bench appreciate their contribution to additions of law in Ghana. Yeah. Not just in the classroom, but in practice. What I say? Yeah. And these are people that are known. So you wonder, sometimes you know, say, "Inti ebane say, and a mami epa san krofo wemu nyina." And the kofa juniors exactly kofa propose juniors and in fact ebane saying exactly ebane saying and ye judicial system ye run ne say bia obi personal edwuma bia oye enti otwa so out to so exit plan was to ensure de bia ye friend say asema a man for Ekane say, and a mobile power. montumi anchi obia because of Professor Mills na badoye on His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. Omo abadoye am say for being court and name bi ho a yenka ofie, let's retrieve the money and all those things, you know. This time round, anka mo desa plan B way e ba be frustrate prosecution. Unfortunately for you and unfortunately for them, this is something that is going to change. And I trust in the leadership of the friend is saying Bafo Boni. I trust in the leadership of the Attorney General and the presidency to ensure say
Ghana Bar for
you see the Ghana Bar Association
drinking bar nah the ain't bar
last time betray
is it the drinking bar or the rich bar? Because there are 6,000 members and 47
the truth is that I have no problem with them. They have the opinion and they are showing where their opinion lies.
In their colors.
Their opinion is showing their love for MPP. And that is all. Okay? Who calculate response on the bar? In fact, who is the president of the Bar Association?
Yes, the wife of
Gina Blair.
No,
not Tróuble. Yeah, first former railway minister
Jogate's wife.
What you say? Jogate is being investigated. And Nike Sokra President Ebo so say yeah the Babeko
Sky Train.
The Sky Train. Yeah the Babeko.
Yeah nam from Kwekota the crowd.
You tutu
before we won.
We're candidate. Potential candidate.
Exactly. If Wunanka Ukunu yeah Babe trying.
So one better.
Say you do know or you mistake is going to serve about 7 to 12 years imprisonment.
Yes.
Na me Bar Association. Na exactly.
Say nyum kra meto.
Exactly. Na maame na onu betumi owo ho a obetumi empaneli obi a ebe comfortable for us ebi a obetumi ababe fine bi anase bi ebeka se ne tie sika no state na kwa na de bi etesa no. Na maame no eni ho a abegitri. What you say? It is just exposing them. When you're the first oba ye yinedi. Bar Association mu ho. Charlotte say has 30 years legal friend is standing. What you say? At the bar, ye babe yinedi. You couldn't write, you couldn't defend. Another group be almost some mothers friends of Zion, mothers of baby, mothers of the Christian mothers. Almost say, and not the neighbor be time Mami Charlotte say, not on the non Christian. Sorry, near Tum. Certain mothers of you understand? So why is everybody jittery? Adie we so say unso wa besan so aba. So there's no predictions on the corner. They are rather judging the system. Say baby Adri the mama ne ko. Omo mom no omo ma nya sa understanding say baby Adri mama
judicial secretary no ko.
Exactly.
That
and you see significant thing. Bafu Boni ebe tere kunya so.
You wait for when a reporter about beto yepono so because so we can subscribe to channel dia bomodia say over subscribe. Na wa like video no give us a thumbs up na fi share ma wo fufro so na when you be here na wo hu ensemo ekoso ewo Ghana memwa. Also betimi atchere wadwen afa eye ensemo nyina ho ewo comment box ni mu. Obete minkabi in my next video.
Thanks for watching. Like and share the video. You can also drop your comment. Please don't forget to subscribe. Click on the bell to turn on the notification.